Hi, and welcome to the special holiday edition of Late to the Prepper Party with Jay and Elle. I'm Elle, and today we are getting ready for Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving is this week, and I'm wondering, have you got your turkey? Here's the thing. Turkeys are on sale. They're on sale everywhere. There's somewhere if you spend $150, you get a free turkey. There's others where if you spend $100, the turkey price drops to something like 20 cents a pound. There's all kinds of opportunities for you to get turkeys at a discounted rate and add it to your prepper pantry. But if you don't have enough funds to buy more than one turkey, here's the other thing. Your leftovers, you can always add that to your prepper pantry as well. I'm going to show you how. I went to the grocery outlet. And I had spent over $50 and I was able to pick up a 14, let me show you this guy, a 14, let me see, he is 14.38 pound turkey for
well, there you are, young lady.
I just talking about turkeys? So we're here with our special holiday edition of Late to the Prepper Party with Jay and Elle. I got my turkey and I got a turkey. Let me show you how to make it.
Wait a minute, no, ain't no turkey here, and we got Bubba coming in there. Woo!
It's the Ducks games, guys. What can I say?
Yeah,
while they're watching the Duck game, let me show you how to make this turkey shelf stable.
You guys are going to be amazed. Like, subscribe, and keep on watching. Comments are welcome. We love you guys. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So like I mentioned, I spent $50 over at Grocery Outlet, and I was able to pick up this 14.38 pound turkey for, let's just, to be safe, say about $10. Only $10. I am going to show you how to take this $10 turkey and turn it into turkey broth and turkey meat that is on your shelf stable for years to come. Now, even if you can't afford a whole new turkey, the reason I picked up a 14-pound turkey is because I believe that most people get turkeys that are somewhere around 20 to 25 pounds. And their family eats roughly half of it the first night. So that would leave you roughly with somewhere around 14 pounds. You know, give or take a pound. I'm going to clean this guy up real quick and start him in my roaster. I have the turkey here in my roaster. I don't know if you can see him. He's a little guy. I'm going to bring it closer in just a second. But I wanted to share this with you. I am not a big fan of the meat organ, or the organ meat, I guess it's the organ meat. So I got rid of that, but I did, however, save this bone, the neck bone, because you are going to want to save this if you're starting with either way, if you're going to make some turkey broth out of this, save it to make the broth. I put it in a little Ziploc bag till my turkey is cooked. I'll stick it in the fridge, and it will be going in my broth later. Here I put my turkey in the roaster. If you're cooking the turkey and you don't have one of these roasters, that's okay. You can cook it in your oven. I am choosing to do it in my roaster, though, because once you put the lid on, the skin doesn't crisp up the same. And that doesn't make that much of a difference when you're making the broth. But I'd rather have the more flexible skin in my broth, because then I can possibly leach more collagen out of it for my turkey broth. But I also wanted you to notice that if you're starting with just a smaller turkey that you plan to totally can up, please notice I happen to be cooking mine with the breast down. Why am I doing that? Well, I'm doing that because while the turkey is cooking, the breast meat, which is usually the drier meat, will sit there and marinate in the juices and help keep the breast meat more moist. That is a preference that is totally up to you. The other thing is because I'm making turkey broth with this, I am choosing not to season this turkey because I like to add my seasonings later when I'm using the broth and I'm cooking. You don't have to do that. You can go ahead and season this guy up. You can throw in some garlic. You can throw in some onion. You can season him if you have him seasoned, if you cooked it in the oven and this is part of your turkey dinner later when you're making the broth and you're using the remainder of the turkey to can up and make shelf stable. Whatever seasonings you had on your turkey is just fine. I'm simply going to turn my roaster on and cook it at 350 for 2.5 hours to cook. So I'm going to catch you back after that. Hi, it's been a couple of hours, about 2.5, and my turkey is done. Here we go. I'm turning it off, and woo, look at that. Well, you kind of can't really see it, but the turkey's done. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I'm going to have to let him cool down for about an hour, and I'm going to start pulling the meat off the bone and taking all the skin and the bones and putting them back into my roaster because I am going to have the broth cook on 150 degrees overnight. So I'll check back in with you once I have all the meat off the bone. Back in a little bit. For you, just a swipe of the screen. Okay, so I have my turkey bones mostly deboned, and this is about how much turkey meat I got off that 14-pound turkey. Not as much as I got off the 5 chickens, but still a good amount of meat for, you know, $8 to $10, which is what I paid for that turkey. But we were calling it 10, right? So this is the meat I got off of a, $8 to $10 turkey that was 14 pounds. Now, over here, I have filled up, put all the bones and skin back in my roaster, and I have filled it all the way up with water, and I'm going just to turn it on to 150 degrees, and put the lid on it. But let me show you real quick what it looks like up close. So as you can see, I've got my bones and the skin of the turkey in there, and I've got the water filled up to the top. I'm going to go ahead and let this sit at 150 degrees overnight, and I will see you guys in the morning. So there I was getting ready to call it a night. You can see the apron's off, and I remembered this. Don't forget about that turkey neck in your refrigerator. You need to take that and add it into your pot so it can cook overnight. Make sure you do that, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Hi. It's the next day, and I'm here. First off, I'd like to take a moment to show you my apron. It was given to me for my birthday from one of our subscribers. Leanne, thank you so much for this wonderful John Deere apron. I'm so thrilled and tickled pink that you thought of me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, on to our turkey broth and canned turkey. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and take the turkey bones back out, pull off whatever little bit of meat I can get off of it, and I'm going to then put the bones back in, and I'm going to add some spices because I want this turkey broth to actually be ready to drink broth. Ready to cook with broth. A little bit different than when I did the chicken broth in, I think it was episode 34, There She Blows. I think it was episode 34. But either way, it was titled There She Blows. My first time pressure canning. So, first, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this meat, and I'll be right back with you. So I wanted to show you, I know I said earlier and I mentioned about spicing and that I was going to leave this, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of straight turkey broth. And for the most part, my turkey broth will be used to either cook rice or noodles or turkey soup, or for broth for Jay to drink while he's out in the cold at work. So I'm going to go ahead and do some flavoring to this while this is still cooking, and I still have the bones and skin in here. This is entirely up to you. If you want to do this, you can go with straight broth with no spicing, or you can choose to add spicing. Now, if you choose to add spicing, the spicing you're going to use is entirely up to your taste and your family's preferences. I'm just going to show you mine and how I choose to do it. You can measure. It's entirely up to you, but I'm guessing this is going to make me somewhere between, let's just say, 5 to 7 gallons of broth. So I'm going to go ahead and season this up just a little bit. I'm going to not season it too much because I want to be able to add seasonings later as I'm cooking it as need be, but I will show you how. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and be putting some garlic in this. I am not measuring what I'm doing right now. I am simply coating the top with the garlic. And you'll notice that I don't stir in between here. I'm giving, because I need to see what it's covering versus what it's not. Okay, next comes some onion powder. I'm using onion powder rather than real onions. Yeah, I guess. It is what it is. Notice again, still not stirring it, but I can see where I'm layering
Raisins.
the different spicing, okay? After that comes my black pepper. And here again, if you couldn't see it with the onion and the garlic, I'm sure perhaps you can see it here with this black pepper. How I'm giving it a layer all the way around, okay? And I can see what I'm doing. Okay, that lets me know. See that?
Big present.
Now later when I'm turning this into turkey soup, I'll probably add more parsley. I'll add more of each of these spices. But I'm just using the basic ones that my family loves. And because I know myself and my husband, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more garlic. I think you might be able to see what I'm adding because of the green and black from the pepper. Notice I'm not adding any salt. Salt is something I try to shy away from because for one, it makes the your product, it can make it cloudy, and for two, I want to be able to add that in according to when I'm making it, because as it turns out, I don't know until I'm making it what I'm putting this broth in, and whatever I'm adding it to might already have salt. So I'm holding off on the salt. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my lid back on and let this continue to roast at 150 degrees for another couple of hours. Welcome back. All right, my turkey broth has been cooking with the bones in it for roughly, let me think, I don't know, about 18 hours. And so I'm going to go ahead and can it up now. I pulled the bones off and I've got all just broth here. And I'm going to take that and I am going to run it through two strainers and a cheesecloth so that I can make sure I don't get any bones in my broth. I've got that turkey right here. As you can see that I'm going to chunk up and start putting into jars. But I'm going to start, because I've got a lot to can here, I'm going to start with canning a bunch of turkey broth. And then I'll take my time putting the turkey into the jars and getting rid of the bubbles and stuff. So I'm going to get this all started because I have a lot of work to do. And I can only fit 7 jars in my canner at a time, which means I'm going to be doing multiple loads of pressure canning for this event. And don't forget, as I always mention, one of the best reasons to prep, one of the best reasons to get your own turkeys and can them up and make your own broth is because the average amount of human poop that the FDA allows in your food is not 0. So learn to can, learn to prepare, make your turkeys shelf stable, and enjoy them throughout the years. Let's get started. Well, look, we have a whole new angle of things going on. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to start by pouring the broth right into my pitcher. Ooh. Now this is very strong broth and it has not been diluted. So it's pretty flavorful and strong. And just in case there's any leftover scraps, I am getting them out right now. Ooh, it's still pretty warm too. So here I am. This is my kind of canning station I made up here in my house. I've got my jars ready. I'm going to start canning up some broth. And over here, let me see if I can show you. I've got my canning stuff. So hopefully I will be able to give you guys a much better view of canning. Let's take my jars with my turkey broth. And now, of course, you got to do all the regular stuff when it comes to canning, right? So here I am with my vinegar. Let's clean some tops. This is your opportunity too, as you wipe this top down, to feel for any broken or chipped glasses, jars, because you don't want to use anything that's chipped. Won't seal right. My rings and lids have been washed, sterilized, you know, all cleaned up. I'm double checking them as I put them on and finger tight. There is a guideline there put out by, I guess it's like the USDA or something, the government, some way, shape, or form. And it's 193 pages long. I really encourage you to download it so that you can really make sure that for your altitude, you're using the right pounds of pressure and you're using the right amount of time, depending on whether you're using quarts or jars. So now you're going to go ahead and set your jars directly into your canner. You can see the steam starting to raise from mine because I've got the water hot. You want to avoid shock, but if the liquid in your jar is hot, you definitely need to make sure the water in your canner is hot. If the liquid in your jar is cold, you definitely need to make sure that the water is cold, because otherwise the glass can break. You always want to avoid breaking the glass because it's a big old mess if you don't. Let me just tell you that right out the gate. I'm also just going to throw in a splash of vinegar because it helps keep some of that sediment that moves around as it's pressurizing out and keeps your jars cleaner. It's entirely up to you because it does it doesn't hurt the bottom of your pan, but it does kind of make it look funky. And it's up to you. You can decide if you want funky stuff or not. All right, I got to put my lid on, and to do that, I need to be able to see close up. So there you can see I got my lid on, and I'm going to wait for this little bad boy to start steaming. Then I'm going to start my timer for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and put my weight on. Okay, so as you may or may not be able to see, we got some steam. We have to let that steam for 10 minutes. Go ahead and set your timer and let it steam. Mine's set for 10, and we go. So here we are, guys. This is the end of the broth. I'm putting it into my gallon. I got Jay here helping me out. Go ahead, baby. He's such a big help. It's a pretty big, it holds 5 gallons, so it was pretty big. There you go.
Oh, no room for that here.
Yep. I've also for the holidays got pears going on.
Watch out, baby.
Thank you so much.
Okay, come again.
And as you can see, my weight is starting to go. It's right at my 15 pounds of pressure. So now I'm going to set a timer for 45 minutes. And I'm going to start reducing my heat to make sure that my pressure doesn't go over 15 pounds. You want to keep your eyes on your pressure. Your pressure will depend on your altitude. Mine is 13 to 15. That's right about where mine is. And you may have to adjust your heat as you're going down. You want to remember, this is turkey broth. and it has animal fat in it, so you want to make sure that you process it in the pressure canner for enough time to reach the temperature. I think it's 277 degrees Fahrenheit, but don't quote me on that. And so you want to process it for 45 minutes because it is cooked broth. So while your broth is processing in your pressure cooker, it is now time to take your pint jar and start, or your quart jar, up to you, and start filling it with your turkey meat. Hi, it's time for a voiceover. So in this next section, I kind of sped it up a little bit so that you wouldn't have to watch all of it because it was way too long for the video. But I started by taking all of the turkey meat that I had and I put it into pint jars. Now, I made sure to leave 1 inch of headspace in each jar because you do need that when you go to can. Next, I then began taking what was left of my turkey broth and I poured it into each of the jars, leaving 1 inch headspace still. After you do that, you then have to take either a knife, some kind of spatula, and you begin debubbling and getting that broth down into the meat. You may have to continue to add a little more broth, as you see that I'm doing, and then you can see I'm moving the spatula and I'm debubbling, just getting all those bubbles out. You don't want those in there. And you can also see I grab another implement just to make sure that I'm able to keep it at 1 inch headspace. You'll see that I'm using a little ladle so that I'm able to take out the excess broth and keep it at 1 inch headspace. Next, you move on to the regular steps of canning, which includes cleaning your rims and then going ahead and placing on your sterilized lids and your rings. So I just had Jay pop this open. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn the camera on and I wasn't going to have him put it back. And so, because this is just real. So here we go. I'm going to take it off away from you because, oh my gosh, it is hot. I would even suggest, as you can see, I kind of moved it and I'm going to let that come out for a little bit. It is super hot in there. Super hot. Then you're going to take it out with your tongs. Sweater, boy. Want me to swear? No? Sweater. There's the first 7. Now I've got to rinse and repeat. So it's day 3. I have Jay here with me for the final product I wanted to show you. For under $10, one 14-pound turkey, I was able to can up 8 pints of turkey meat and 35 pints of turkey broth.
Oh my, it looks delicious.
At that price, how can you not afford to put some turkey meat and broth into your prepper pantry? We hope you've enjoyed this special holiday edition of Late to the Prepper Party with Jay and Elle.
Wishing your family from ours a happy Thanksgiving.
And we want you to know we are grateful for all of the Lord's blessings, and we are especially grateful for every one of our subscribers and all of our viewers. Thank you for making our channel yours.
God bless.
Until next time, blessed be his name. Bye.
Amen. Perfect.